Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of April 9th through 15th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. This is going to be a general reading, and we're just going to get right into it. We're not going to waste any time. First card today is the Knight of Wands. So I feel like you've got a lot of like pent-up feelings right now, right? I think that you're just right on the edge of bursting forth with something. Now, whether that is going to be a positive or a negative expression of energy, I don't quite know yet. It could be a lot of kind of frustration, anger, rage almost, right? I'm feeling that you're kind of bursting. And it's almost as if this horse is just about ready to carry you away, right? So something's got to be done before this energy really gets out of control and kind of takes off with you just as a passenger. You know what I mean? Let's do our mystery card before I forget here. The mystery card, the confirmation card, we're not going to look at this until the very end. And hopefully this will, tie everything together. Give us the confirmation that we need at the end. All right. So it would really help out the channel if you would hit the like button, subscribe, watch this video to the very end. If you could, please, it would really go a long way with the channel. Okay, so we've got this pent up energy. We've got this this horse that's just about ready to carry us away, right? Really about to lose control over things. And there's a 5 of Cups here as well. So I think there's something that's severely disappointing you, okay? I think that you've been let down in some way, and it's just about all you can handle, okay? It's just about, enough is enough, really. It feels to me like you have been a very consistent force, right? In I don't know if this is, once we get some more cards out, we'll be able to narrow it down, but it could be in the workplace, could be at home with your family, domestic life, whatever. I feel like you've always been someone people can rely on. You've always been a very solid, stand-up person, right? You've always had the energy, the endurance to kind of go the extra mile. You've always put in that extra work. You've always been very reliable and a very powerful and consistent force, right? But something is going on that has severely disappointed you. I think when it really came down to brass tacks, the people that you have been there for were not there for you. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay, beneath everything, we see this air sign person. So it might just be one particular person that we're talking about. Could be this air sign. Could be this air sign. I think this card's kind of doing a couple of things right now. The first thing it's doing is talking about an air sign person being involved here. And this maybe this is the person that you've always been there for, but when it came down to it, they were not there for you. Okay? I think they might be an air sign person. This Queen of Swords is also telling me that right now you are kind of not thinking logically, right? You are, I feel, right on the verge of just acting on your emotions, right? You're thinking with your feelings, okay? If you look at this card, it's kind of cut the head off of things. It's kind of like you've detached yourself from your rational mind. You're going on pure kind of instinct or emotion right now. Your head's kind of in the clouds. You're not really thinking clearly or rationally. I think because you're caught up in this fire and this water. Now, the fire and the water are not friends, right? These two, and especially with the nature of these two cards themselves, these two cards are really, it's really explosive. This really is like a Molotov cocktail just waiting to be lit, This is a powder keg, like, quite ready to go. And I don't think you're in a position right now where you really can look at this thing objectively. I think maybe this is a situation that doesn't really warrant you being calm and reasonable and objective and rational and, we have emotions for a reason, you know? And whatever exactly is going on this week, I feel like it's just something that you need to accept your feelings, right? Recent past, Fool energy. Recent past. So I feel like, oh, and there's the Two of Wands. Okay, let's stop shuffling for a minute. With the recent past, with this Fool energy, I feel like this was you really being just a cheerful, happy-go-lucky kind of person. You know, very extroverted, very outgoing, very friendly, very supportive, and very eager to help people, very willing to to go above and beyond, to do new things, to, really be that stand-up person for everyone, And I feel like there was probably a particular instance that you can recall where you almost had to take the heat for someone, or take the blame, or you had to put yourself at risk in order to save somebody else's ass, right? And I think it's that air sign person. So for them to not appreciate that, not return the favor when you need it, is really disappointing. And that Five of Cups is really standing out to me, okay? So I feel like you kind of now are feeling like you're like a literal fool, that you were there for someone and you put yourself at risk, you did all of this for somebody else, and they would not do the same for you, right? When it came down to it, in the moment, they did not, okay? So I think that you are feeling, you were kind of shocked by that. I think you expected that they would be there for you in that way, but they were not, and it left you kind of feeling a little bit just kind of aimless, you were shocked, you were just kind of like floating there, just like in limbo, not really sure what to make of it. Now it's starting to build up as this kind of anger, I think, really, for some reason there's a reluctance to always talk about anger or aggression or frustration, especially in tarot readings, right? It's always just puppy dogs and bunny rabbits and stuff. But we all have emotions. We all get angry sometimes, right? If anyone tells you that they never get angry, those are the most dangerous people ever, right? I mean, for someone to either deny their emotions, deny their anger, deny how they feel, or to just kind of repress it or whatever, it just seems unhealthy to me. Okay, I'm not trying to get philosophical or moral or anything, but to talk about anger is okay because we all feel it. And I think if we don't talk about it, if we don't admit that it's a presence, it can run away with us, and we can lose control over ourselves and be carried away by this horse, right? So up above everything, we see this Two of Wands. And this, I think, is you establishing some boundaries for yourself. This is almost like now you're saying, look, I'm done doing favors for everyone and getting nothing in return, and still being taken advantage of, right? So this is you really laying down the law. This is really you drawing the boundaries around your own soul, your own spirit, okay? And I think that's a good thing. I think that is a real establishment of your boundaries, and you enforcing those borders. Laying down the law with yourself mostly by saying, look, I'm not going to put myself at risk. I'm not going to do anything that could potentially injure me just to get somebody else out of the hot seat or out of their hot water. It's not really worth it. Let's see what the future might bring us. There's that control, Emperor energy. This is you establishing those borders, establishing those boundaries, enforcing them, laying down the law, but doing it in a way that is controlled and calm, right? Not getting pulled away by this horse, not getting this horse is not just kind of taking off on you, You're now in control, you have the reins, you have the power, and you're you're calming down in a way that's really powerful. You know, you're kind of harnessing that power, right? So I think a little bit of this rational thinking is kind of coming back. But I think in the moment when this really takes place, this may not be something that's happened yet, okay? It may be something that's just now developing. In the moment, it's going to be a lot of this, okay? It's going to be difficult to contain that kind of anger or rage or frustration. But it needs to be harnessed, because the way forward, how you are going to progress and be successful, is through controlling this, harnessing this, and, you know, using this power for good instead of evil, right? But let's see where this leads. If you can kind of maintain your grip on the reins of that fiery horse, what are we looking at? Looking at water on water. We're looking at a Queen of Cups, right? So this is kind of, you know, I think I'm being kind of contradicted. I'm being challenged a little bit by these cards, because I was saying that you need to be in control, right, of these emotions, of this fiery energy. You need to be firmly in control so that you can direct it where it needs to go to be successful. What is the very next card is water on water. This is someone who is completely cut off from their emotions. This is that person who is denying how they feel, denying that they have negative emotions, and this is the most dangerous person. So maybe you want to be that. Could be. I think this is saying that, look, we don't want to have so much control, so much of this, you know, reining in of this energy that we end up suppressing it and cutting ourselves off and really detaching from how we feel, because that's just as dangerous, if not more so, than letting this horse carry us away. Okay, so this card is saying we don't want to go in the exact opposite direction. You know what I mean? We don't want to go from this just being full of this rage and anger and being carried away by it. We don't want to go the opposite way of just being so out of touch with how we feel that it's going to, the horse is going to run away with us anyway. You know what I mean? So that's a very interesting card, and it seems like the tarot is just kind of instantly corrected me or contradicted what I was saying, you know. But I think that is kind of a good indication that these messages are coming through, you know, as they should. And if I am interpreting things a little bit incorrectly, we'll know about it. You know what I mean? We're going to hear about it. So what's the next card? What is the way forward then? If we're able to find this balance between the fire and the water, between this, you know, allowing full expression of our emotions or concealing them, pushing them down, repressing them, what is the balance? Is it going to be an art or temperance card, perhaps? No, we have an 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is really saying that it's not about repressing the emotions. It's not about veiling ourselves to our own feelings. It's not about detaching completely or dissociating from how we feel. It's about taking that fiery energy and using it in the correct way, giving it structure, giving it an outlet, giving it form, right? The number 8 is about form, okay? This isn't about the expression. This is about the system that will facilitate the expression, right? If there's a bow and an arrow, this is the bow, right? Well, we see the rainbow there, and then the kind of lightning bolts acting as the arrows. It's the system, it's the form that can give expression to that energy, okay? So this is kind of a strategy. This is a response, not a reaction, right? Not just kind of an instant reaction to a stimulus, but it's a thoughtful, a planned response to a situation, okay? There's a subtle difference there. But the next card now is kind of what we're worried about. So maybe this is going to be, again, a card that will show this fiery energy kind of out of control, right? Or maybe it will be something in the very opposite direction. Well, this is kind of a passive card, yielding card. This is a Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is kind of showing the biggest fear, really, I think, for you, is to really not do anything. The biggest fear for you is to remain the same and allow this to happen again. You know, this is someone who is very passive. This is just kind of, you're sitting here waiting for someone to do this again. That's your biggest fear. Your biggest fear is that you are going to sit down, lie down, roll over, and just take it. And just allow this thing to happen and not make any changes. This is almost just feeling sorry for yourself and not taking any positive steps. Okay? That's what you don't want. Fears, worries, and concerns. That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of doing nothing. You're afraid of being, the victim, really. Being on the receiving end of somebody else's inconsiderate behavior, I guess. Well, let's see what the final outcome is here. How are we going to handle this situation, or what good is going to come from this, right? Well, we've got a Prince of Swords here. So, I wonder if all of this is perhaps a misunderstanding. I want to look at the mystery card, because we have the indication here that it's an air sign person that is involved in this situation with us, right? And then we end with that Prince of Swords, more air energy. It could be that these two air cards are just not understanding each other quite right, you know? And one could kind of represent you and your point of view, and then the other person, their point of view. So I think there's a miscommunication here. I think there's a breakdown in the information, in the data stream somewhere, right? So it could be that all of this is literally a misunderstanding. Could be that there are some facts that have not been conveyed. So it could be that all of this really is just kind of for nothing, you know? It could be at the end of things that there's some information that you need that might affect how this energy plays out, how this stuff flows for you. Okay? So I think what these two are saying is to open up that dialogue again, be willing to communicate, and at least get their side of the story, maybe. Maybe there's a good reason why this happened. Mystery card. I'm not getting a sense of what this is today. I feel like it should be some very grounding earth energy, because I feel like we kind of got carried away already by some of this energy. So I kind of want this to be some earth energy. But I'm kind of getting this feeling like, regardless of what happened here, this is an opportunity for you to kind of start over, you know? Either start over with some of this very assertive, controlled emperor energy, not letting people take advantage of you, standing up for yourself, having your borders and your boundaries, you know. Even if this turns out to be a misunderstanding, right? Even if this is all just kind of a figment of our imagination, it's still teaching you something about yourself because of how upset you got, right? So I think it's a way for you to reevaluate your relationship to your emotions and kind of start over with how you control, how you express those. I'm always thinking this is going to be like a death card, you know? Not to be morbid, not to imply any kind of literal death, but I think it's a realization of how I reacted. And that's kind of like, that's heavy, you know, to really see ourselves and see how we react in a situation like this, even if it's not true, even if it's a misunderstanding. Your reaction to it was authentic, and maybe that's a little bit heavy, and you need to say, okay, I need to go back to basics here, and analyze myself, and consider how I'm reacting to situations or how I'm handling my emotions. I need to start this work over again, you know? That's why I'm thinking death card here. And there, yeah, there it is, death card. The 13th mystery of the tarot, the Lord of the Gate of Matter. So this is kind of giving you another chance. It's almost like giving you a do-over, you know? If it does turn out to be a misunderstanding, I can see how this is really a very appropriate card. It is kind of like a mulligan, like a do-over. It's, oh great, this was, it was all a big misunderstanding. Now I don't have to react this way. Now all of this energy is kind of released. It was almost like it was just a thought experiment, you know? And you learn something from it. So now you can work on that part of yourself. If this was really a true situation, which it still might be, okay, I don't want to say that, you know, you're wrong for interpreting things this way or for feeling this way. Like I said, if it's true or not, it's a way for you to observe your behavior, your responses, your emotions, and how intense they are, and that sort of thing, and assess them and resume the work on yourself, the inner work, the spiritual work, right? This card is about progress and transformation. This is about getting the chance to start over too. You know, I think it's a good confirmation. Anyway, Aquarius, we're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right up here. And you can have access to all of the extended readings for all signs. Okay. This was your weekly reading, April 9th through 15th on Dove and Serpent Tarot.